Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Devs Talk. Learners, we have started a Python developer training course. And this video is just a recording of one of the session of this particular course. If you also want to be trained as a Python developer, just let me know in the comment. I will add you to the group. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started with the session. So you can see this value 6 I have assigned to a variable I, and this string literal hello is assigned to a variable s. Why I am saying this literal? What exactly is the meaning of literal? Literal is just a value assigned to a particular variable or constant, you can say. Okay, you can say a container. In a container we are just assigning a particular value. Basically this variables or constant or whatever we say are containers of those values. Okay, so the value 6 is integer, so we can say this is integer literal, this is string, so we can say this is string literal. Okay, and these I and s are variables since those are in small lowercase. Okay, now if I make a variable named as I, but it's in capital, and I assign a value of 80, but so now it becomes a constant, not a variable. So the concept is not like it can't be changed. If I make if I assign a value of 91 to same I, the I identifier, then its value will be changed to 91. Okay, it's not like a constant will not be reassigned or rechanged in Python. It can be, but it's just a concept just to differentiate that if you want to store a constant value in your project directory where you want to use it everywhere or want to call it everywhere, and you don't want to change it, so you just the standard way is you should make a new module. I already have told you what module is, right? So you just making a new file, Python file, and that Python file is just a module. So make a module named as constant. So I'm making a module named as constant.py, and for all the constant what I'm doing is I'm storing it here only in this module. So let's say 3.14. okay, now if I want to use the constant, what I will do is I just import this module in the module where I want to use. So I am going to use this constant which I stored in constant.py module in the test.py module. So what I will do, I will import that module from which I am gonna use that constant. So I will say import constant, and then
Can you repeat this, sir?
yeah, okay. So basically whenever you work with constant, the standard way is you store all those constant values with the constant identifiers as capital letters in a particular constant module. So module is nothing but a Python file. So I just made a new module named as constant.py to store the constant values, and what I did is I stored a constant value named as pi, okay, which is in capital letter, which shows that it is a constant. Now I want to use this value in other modules. Let's say test.py is another module, another Python file. So I am gonna use that constant which is stored in constant module in this test module. So what I will do, first of all I will import this module from which I gonna use that constant. Then to use that particular constant value, I will say x. Suppose I want to multiply every I value with that particular constant. Okay, so what I will do, x, and I want to assign that complete result of that multiplication in a variable of x. So I'm saying x assign this equal to is nothing but it's not equal to in Python, it is assignment operator. Okay, just mind it, this equal to is not equal to, doesn't act as an equal to operator in Python, it acts as an assignment operator. It assigns a value to a variable or constant or an identifier, you can say. Okay, so I am just writing x assign x is assigned I, and then multiplication of the constant pi. So what I will do is constant dot the value I want to use, pi. Okay, so the pi value will come here. Now if I print x, See, so what it will do is it will give a value 6 multiplied 3.14. See, it gives us the value of 6 multiplied 3.14. And if I print here the value of constant pi, it will print 3.14. So we can easily use those constant values anywhere if we want. See, so but the standard way we should learn is we have to store those constant in a identifier which should be in capital first thing, and then all those constants should be at common place, which will be a common module named as constant.py. Understood? Clear to everyone, or any doubt?
Understood.
Okay, perfect, fine then. So this is about constant and the differentiation between the variable and constant. Now I already have told you that how we exactly name a variable, right? So for variable, let's say I am naming a variable as y. Okay, now if I make it y equals 67 and I print it, okay, see the value of y 67 is being printed because the naming convention is correct. We are using the latest. So the naming convention for a variable is we should use only alphabets, or that alphabets should be in lower case, because for uppercase basically what we do, we use in constant, not in variable. So for variable, lowercase alphabets, numbers and underscore, and other variable other special characters must not be used. If you use other special characters other than underscore, it will throw you an error. Let me show you. If I name it y1 y underscore 1, it will not give me an error. See, it printed 67, so no error came, because the convention says that you can use integer, underscore and lowercase alphabets to name the variable. But if I add at the rate, which is basically a special character, so it will throw me an error. See, it says cannot assign to operator. Okay, so basically all these special characters basically are used as an operator. So that's why we don't use special characters other than underscore while naming a variable. Okay, make sure whenever you name a variable, you don't use any special character other than underscore. So this is the naming convention for a variable. Clear hai?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now coming to assigning values to variables. हम किसी भी वेरिएबल को एक वैल्यू असाइन करना चाहते हैं, कैसे असाइन करेंगे, है ना? सिंपल वे तो हमने ये देखा कि y एक वेरिएबल हम ले लें या फिर कुछ भी नाम दे दें, कि मान लो हमने एक नाम दिया यूज़र इनपुट. हम अगर यूज़र से इनपुट ले रहे हैं, इफ वी आर टेकिंग इनपुट फ्रॉम यूज़र, लेट्स से वी नेम इट एज वी नेम द वेरिएबल एज यूज़र input. Okay, now this variable is done. So and then what we are going is we are just assigning this operator, this one. So what this operator basically means, that it is it means to assign a value to this particular variable. So we are saying basically in this statement, this variable assigned a value of, let's say, 786. Okay, so now this variable user input is assigned a value 786. Now if you want to change the value of this particular variable user input in your next step or in any of your step in further processing, you can just use that particular variable name and assign any value. Let's say if I make it 980 now, so basically that value assignment to that particular variable changed. Let me show you how. If I print the value just below this for user input, it will print a 786, and if we print after this line, it will be changed. See, first it printed 786, then it printed 980. Okay, so basically a variable is something whose value whose value can be changed at any point of time in the code. So you can just use same variable to use it in the processing. Okay, while making function, it will be more clear to you how we can change those values and how we basically use these variables. Now so far what we have seen is we have seen assigning value to only one variable, right? So suppose user is giving input in the same line for 3 variables, how you will store? So for getting all the inputs in just one line, what you will do, let's say A is a variable, B is also a variable, C is also a variable, and you want to assign all these 3 variables 3 values at the same time, not in 3 lines. In just single line you want to assign value to all these 3 variables. So what you will do is you will say 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in this way the values are assigned one by one as per the variables available at the left side and the values available at the right side. So A will be assigned 2, B will be assigned 3, and C will be assigned 4. If I print A, B and C, you can see all these variables got assigned a value. See, we got 2, 3, 4. So basically what this line of statement did is it assigned a value of 2 to A, 3 to B and 4 to C. Okay, so this way we can just assign value to a variable so we can assign a single variable in one line, and we can assign many variables also in one line. Any doubt? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Can we assign these ABC variable in one line separately?
Done. Okay, yeah. So to differentiate between the statements which we are writing in a single line, okay, so this particular line which you asked, this one, this line, okay, who is there?
Yes.
Okay, so if you are writing multiple statements, so these 3 statements are three separate statements basically. If you are writing multiple statements in single line, so to bifurcate them from each other, you have to use this semicolon. Adil bhai, any doubt?
No, thanks. Okay.
So these are the way how you can assign values to a variable. Just one variable in single line, many variables in single line, and then also writing many statements in single line. Okay, so these are the ways to assign values to a variable. And also suppose you want to assign so suppose you want to assign same value to all the to multiple variables. Let's say A, you want to assign A equals B equals C equals some value, let's say 4, 6. So all values will be equal to C. So you can just write in the same line, not multiple lines like A equal to C, B equal to 6, B equal to 6, C equal to 6. Instead of doing that, you must do A equals, B equals, C equals that particular value which you want to assign. Now if I print this A, B and C, So all these three will be printed as 6. See, 6 6 6 we got. Okay, so these are the ways how you can assign values to variables. Okay, so we are done with constant as well, and the naming convention also. We got to know about literals. Now we will start with data types. Okay, data types. So data type is, I mean, any one of you, do you have any idea about what exactly this data type is? Hello.
So integer, float, and strings.
Yeah, but how you will define those?
Actually, data type is a type which type of value we want to stored in which type of variable. It is define the type of that variable, which type of value we want to store. It is called a data type.
Okay. Okay, fine. So in simple language, we know what exactly data is, right? Data is something which data is just an information, you can say. Okay, any type of information, whether it is raw or whether it is the useful information or not. So any type of information. So suppose if I say his age is 29, so this 29 is also a data. If I say his name is Ravi, so Ravi is also a data. Okay, so the data we know how we exactly write a data and what exactly a data is. So the type of data, we have different types of data. So the type of data which we have integers, we have string, we have complex number, we have boolean, which are basically true and false, and then we have, so all these are the types of data. So in simple language you can say data types are nothing but a class in Python which describes or which briefs about the type of a data, So एक ऐसा क्लास जो पाइथन में ऑलरेडी डिफाइन किया गया है, और वो क्या करता है, वो डेटा के टाइप को बताता है कि कोई भी डेटा हमारे पास है तो उसका टाइप क्या है, क्या वो इंटीजर है, क्या वो फ्लोट मतलब डेसिमल वैल्यू है, क्या वो बूलियन है मतलब ट्रू और फॉल्स, या क्या वो स्ट्रिंग है, स्ट्रिंग मतलब सिंपल सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर. समझ में आ रही है बात?
Yes, sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in simple language what we should say is data types are classes defined in Python which basically gives us the type of a data, So let me show you. Suppose we have this data over here. We have a variable user input with a value of 786. Okay, we have ABC with a particular value, and now let's say if I assign a variable s a set of character, let's say my name Fuzail. Okay, so I already have told you that this set of characters is stored within quotation is nothing but a string. So this is a string. Okay, now if I assign a variable y a value of a boolean, let's say true. Okay, now if I assign k a variable k, let's say,
so take it 1 2 3.
No, I'm just taking a complex type also. Let's say 2j, 1 plus 2j. Okay, so all these are data. you know that this is the form of complex number, you know that this is a boolean, you know that this is a string, you know that this is an integer. Okay, and let's say if I store j equals 2.4.
We can store in a single quotation.
Sorry,
So we can store string in a double quotation, na?
any quotations, single, double and triple, all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I will come to that one by one. So I'm just giving you a brief insight about what exactly data type is. Okay, so
Okay, so
so we have here different types of data. Okay, but to know what exactly that type of data is, so suppose you are a person, you don't know that this data which is stored here, what exactly the type of each of these data. So what you will do, we have a function, we have a class, we have a function in Python defined already with the name type. Like we have a function print, same way we have a function type, which basically gives us the type of a particular data. So if I give, so basically this string, this let's say this ABC, I will take only one variable here, because all these ABC are having same value. So I will take A. So A is having a value. So I want to know what exactly is the type of the value which is stored in A. So I will pass A. Okay, and now if I print same way, if I print the type of S as well, same way if I print the type of Y, and then I print the type of J, and then I want to get the type of K. Okay, now if I run, oh, we haven't printed. Okay, let me add this in the print statement. Then since we are storing all these in a print statement, we need to have a comma to be separated. Okay, so these will print us the types of all these data type. See, a class of integer for A, a class of string for S, a class of boolean for Y, a class of float for J, and a class of complex for K. So this function type basically provides us the class of type of that particular value. As I already told you that all types or these data types are defined in Python as a class. How it is defined in Python? It is defined as class. So basically Python is an object oriented language, where we have classes. So when we talk about object oriented programming concept, we basically talk about classes. So I will come to that in further lectures sessions, which is basically the core part of programming, this object oriented programming. Okay, so you got this insight, right? I mean, what exactly a data type is and how we can get a type of a data. Understood? Any doubt?
no, sir. Fine.
No, sir.
Okay. Let me tell you how you should tell an interviewer. Just a simple way. So we have values, okay, values or data. Just keep it in your mind that we have values and data with which we are working, and then we want to know the type of those values or data. So data type are basically classes. So first you come to data type. What exactly it is? It is classes, where in Python. So data types are classes in Python which provides us the type of data or value, which provides us the type of a data or value. Simple. You got it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, then we are done with this data type. Let's have 5-minute break.
You are explaining PyCharm, right?
Yes, yes.
I missed yesterday class. So
Even we, unfortunately, we didn't get that particular recording of the session. We lost that audio, so that's why we are not able to.
okay,
So even we have some of lectures over there in the YouTube channel, which is basically the same thing. The same concepts are being described over there. So you can just go through those lectures and get the idea about that.
So we provide the link of that YouTube channel in the group.
Yes, yes, yes. I have provided, and I will just provide it again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and as I already told that the data types are basically classes, and this function type gives us the that particular class, that a particular value is part of which class. Okay, in same way, like we are getting this type using this type function, we can check for a particular value that for that of which class that particular value is an instance. Instance is simply a part of class. So suppose a class is a blueprint, a parent, and the instance is the child of that parent. So since all the values relates to a particular parent data type, so we can easily check in both the ways. We can just get the type using this type function, or otherwise you can just check for. So this type function is will basically give you the type name, integer, string, like that. But is instance function is there, which basically gives you in boolean yes or no whether it is a part of a particular type or not. So suppose I want to know that whether, so the function name is instance. Okay, is instance. Now what we need to provide here is the value which we want to check. Suppose I want to check 2. Now I want to check whether this value 2 is an instance of type integer, int. Okay, is an instance of type integer. So since we all know that 2 is an integer, it will give us true. See, it gives us true. Now in place of integer, if I want to know whether it is complex, so I just give this function is instance a value 2, and I want to know whether this 2 value is a type of complex or not. So it will print us false, because this 2 is not a complex, this is an integer type, right? So these two functions are very important related to the data type. So whenever you want to get that particular data type class for a particular value, you use type function. Whenever you just want to check whether it is a part of the particular data type or not, in true or false, you just use is instance and give that particular value, and then give a data type with which you want to check, you want to tally that value is that value belongs to that data type or not. So basically here we are checking whether this particular value 2 belongs to this data type or not, and we are getting true or false. Okay, so in data type these two functions are very important. now if we come to type conversion, okay, so type, we know what exactly is type is, data type is, okay. So now what we need to do is we need to do a type conversion. Suppose you have an integer in a variable, let's say h equals 21, okay, but you want to convert, since we all know that 21 is an integer, we want to convert it into a float. What we'll do, let's say we assign a variable f equals, so we will just call that particular function name for that particular type. We want to change it from integer to float, we will just make it, we will call a function float and just pass that integer value and it will be float. Now if I print both h
21
and f,
0.
yes, so if I print now, see, we get 21 and 21.0. so basically that value 21 which was stored in h, sorry, instead of passing 21 we should pass h, basically that h is storing that 21, right? See, so that value, that h, now it has been changed to a float type, and even you can do it with the same variable. You are storing 21 as integer in h, and now you want to change the type of that particular value and store it into the same variable only, not the another variable. So you will get, see, we stored it as 21 integer, but we got it as float because we changed the type. So this is what we say a data change in data type. What we say this, data type conversion. What we say, data type conversion. Or sometime in interviews they also ask what exactly is coercion is. Coercion is nothing but type conversion. Let me type the spelling also. Since we are doing it here, let's make a comment that what we are doing is we are doing type conversion, which is nothing but coercion. Okay. So if any interviewer asks you what exactly a type conversion or a coercion is, you will simply say that it's a type conversion where we change one type of value to another type, and you can just give them this example. Okay, so in similar way now if I change it, this h, value of h, to a string, so to change it into a string we use a function called str and I pass the value s. If I print it now, see, we got it printed as 21, but you are seeing it as a float. It is not a float, it is a string. If I print the type of h now, if I print type of h, it will give us string. See, it is being printed as float, but it's a string. Basically whatever string you store in variable, in output it doesn't show in within quotation, it shows that particular set of character only, not the quotations. Quotations are just to store the set of characters as a string in variable, not in the output. So in output you will get just this set of characters only. So this float is now changed to a string type. So first we got this integer, now we change it to float, now we change it to string, and in similar way we can change it to any other type. Okay. And also Python what it exactly do is so suppose you are doing operation between two different type of data, it will only do that operation if the data type is same, and the other thing is if you are doing summation or subtraction, between a float and integer, which are basically different data type, it will do, but it will convert it in a single data type, which will be a float, which is of higher order. So let me just show you that example. Suppose you are in s variable, you are doing, let's say you have a string 1 2 is not an integer here, it is a string here, and we are just trying to add it with 3 1. Okay, and let's say another variable is x, and we are doing 1 2, which is an integer, and we are adding it up with 3.1, which is a float. So in both these examples we are doing operations with two different data type. Okay, we are doing operation with two different data type. Now if we print both s and x, see, for s it will give us an error. See what we got? Type error, can only concatenate a string, not integer to string. It is basically saying that an integer cannot be concatenated to a string. This 1 2 is a string and 3 1 is a integer. So for a string, this plus sign, what it do is it concatenates, but for integer and float, what this plus sign do is it do the sum of both the values. And what this concatenation exactly means, let me show you. If I make this integer 31 as a string, and now if I want to print it, see what concatenation does is it basically appended that value to the previous value. 1 2 appended with 3 1. So it is just you can say appending the values, not adding or summing up. For a string it is just concatenating, but for floats and integers it is summing up. And what in result it is giving one type of data, which is float, which is basically of higher order. So in terms of summation or subtraction or any mathematical operation between float and integer, which are basically two different data type, it returns the result in the type of float, which is of higher order. So and in terms of string, which what exactly this plus sign do is it concatenates, it adds that particular value to at the end of the previous value. So see, this 1 2 get added with 3 1 at the end. This one you can see. Clear hai?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Suppose in some of the situation or some of the requirement or in some of the questions of problem solving, suppose someone gives you a variable g stores a value of 1.5, let's say. So they give you a float value in a variable, and they tell you that I don't want to get it in float, I want it in a fraction. How you will do? So in that case, what you will do, you will just import a module named as fraction in the Python, which is already defined in Python. Oh. Okay, so you import that particular module, and in that module we have a function called as, so in this same g we are converting that particular g, which is 1.5, a float value, to fractions using this fraction function of fraction module. Fraction function of fractions module. Make sure you remember this. Fraction function of fractions module, and you are just passing that particular float value g and making it a fraction. Now if you print g, see, you got a fraction 3/2. Okay, so make sure you remember this module name, fractions, which basically has fraction function if you want to convert a float to a fraction value. Okay, then we also have math module, where we have several things which is related to math. Okay, you can just go through the material and then you can do that practices and all. We have exponential function, and then cos function, we have constant as pi, and then we have factorial function and all. But basically we use it in statistical analysis, basically in data science. Okay, so integer is done now, integer and float is done, the type of data. Now if we come to another type of data, which is nothing but a string. So we will go one by one. First string, first integer is done. Now we'll see what exactly this string is, and then in the next session we will get to know about what exactly a tuple is. Then we will know about list, then a set, and then dictionary. Then this complete data type will be done. Data type is very important concept in Python, which is mostly used in the algorithms. So data types are here some of the data types like list, string, list, set, tuple, and dictionaries and all are nothing but the data structures. These are abstract data types which are by default defined data structure, you can say, in Python, which stores values. They act as a container. Container, what exactly container do is it stores something. So in same way, these data structures are nothing but a container which stores values. Okay, we'll come to that concept. So let's start with the string. As I already have told you that in simple language, a string is nothing but a set of character which can be anything, a special character, an integer, or alphabet. Okay, anything which is basically enclosed within quotations. It can be, the quotation should be only one type. If you do at the beginning you make a single quotation and at the end you make a double quotation, then it will not work. So if you have to use single type of quotation. If you are using single quotation, use single in both the sides. If you are double quotation, use double quotation at both the side, and in same way you can use triple quotation also. So now if I print s, it will be printed as a string, and also if I print the type of s, it will give us a string. See, this string got printed and the type is string class. Clear hai?
Yes.
Okay, so string is really very simple, and so string is nothing but a sequence of character. You can say whenever someone asks you, just say string is nothing but a sequence of characters stored in quotations as per the standard of Python. So to create a string, you already know that you can use quotation either single, double, or triple. Okay, but the thing which we should know is we should know how we can use quotations under quotations, right? So basically in this set of characters we can also use quotation as a set of character, right? It should be used. But if you see, when I inserted this quotation, double quotation, as a set of character, it gives me an error, a red line. So what exactly it mean? Since we are using this double quotation to enclose the set of character, we can't use that same quotation which is being used to enclose as a character in the string. Simple concept. The quotation which is being used to enclose the character, set of character, can't be used as a character. Simple. The quotation which is being used to enclose the set of character can't be used as a character. But in place of double quotation, if I insert single quotation, see, it's not giving me an error. So suppose you are storing a string in single quotation. Okay, but you want to have single quotation as well as a character. So in that case, what you will do to avoid error, you store this set of character in double quotation and store that single quote as a character. That will not throw an error. Let's say an example, we have what let's say we have a question, doesn't you have it? Okay, see, we in this line, in this statement, in this string, we are using single quotation. So in this case we should use double quotation to enclose this set of character. If we use single quotation, it will give us error. See, we are storing single quotation, it is giving us error. Why this is giving us error? So basically quotation, same type of quotation at one side and another side makes a string. So in same way, if you see, this single quotation starts here. Okay, now if you come further, you get a quotation here. So from here to here it made a string, but after this we don't have a starting quotation, but have a ending quotation. If you see here, we don't have a starting quotation but have a ending quotation. That's why this string, this set of character is nothing, is not a string, and it is giving us an error that it is not as per standard. Okay, see, if I give the quotation at the start as well, it becomes the string. Simple. Okay, so to avoid error, you should make sure, if you are storing a quotation as a character in the string, use another type of quotation as enclosing quotation. Is it clear, or should I repeat in Hindi?
Clear, sir.
Sir, absolutely fine, no issue.
ओके, है ना, बहुत सिंपल है. वन टाइप ऑफ कोटेशन का आप यूज़ कर रहे हैं सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर को स्ट्रिंग बनाने के लिए, तो उसी सेम टाइप ऑफ कोटेशन को आप एज अ कैरेक्टर उस स्ट्रिंग में यूज़ नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है, अच्छा, ये तो हो गया, ये तो बात हुई कि आप स्ट्रिंग को कैसे आप बनाएंगे, है ना, हाउ टू मेक अ स्ट्रिंग, सिंगल कोट्स, डबल कोट्स, ट्रिपल कोट्स. लेट्स से यू वांट टू स्टोर, डू यू हैव, हाईलाइट करने के लिए हम लिखते हैं पेन. डजंट यू हैव पेन? लेट्स से सी, सिंस वी आर यूजिंग enclosing quotation as double quotation, it is giving us error when we are using it as a character as well. So in that case, where we are using both single quotes and double quotes as a character, then in that case we can just make use of triple quotes. See, it is not giving an error. Triple quotes can be written in both single quote 3 times, double quote 3 times. If I make it single quote 3 times, it will also work. See, so you got the concept, right? How to use quotations to enclose character and make a string. Making a string is not so hard, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, triple quoting is used to store the multi-line string.
Yes, but in this case also you can use where you are using single and double quote as a character. In that case also you can use.
Okay.
Yeah. Now suppose you are writing some line and you want in that line somewhere a line change. So whenever you want a line change, you just need to add /n to get it. /n. See, doesn't you have is printed in one line, and then this pen and question mark got printed in another line. So this basically this slash n, what it do is it changes the line. Simple, it changes the line. If you want to change the line and want pen not in the next line, next to next line, just input one another slash n and see, you will get it not in just the next line but next to next line. So slash n works in the string as a line change. Okay. Is it enough or we should continue further?
Sir, I am not getting the concept of backslash n.
Backslash n.
Got it.
Okay. Backslash n is nothing but a line change. So suppose you are writing a statement. Suppose this is an statement, this one, and in that statement, after don't you have, you want a line change, then you can just input, you can just add slash n and you get a line change in the output. You want to have two line change in the output, you add 2 slash n and you get 2 line change. So suppose after this you get this new line, this one, then you get this new line where this pen get printed. So basically line changes twice. Here line changes twice, this one, this one. So that's why we added 2 backslash n. So backslash n is nothing but a line change. Clear hai?
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Okay. So आगे बढ़े या इतना ही रखें आज के लिए?
Sir, this is enough for now.
Enough, sir.
ओके देन, ठीक है. तो आज हमने क्या क्या सीखा है? सबसे पहले तो वेरिएबल और कांस्टेंट का डिफरेंस. आपको प्रैक्टिस क्या करना है, एक अलग से मॉड्यूल बनाना है कांस्टेंट का, constant.py करके उसमें कांस्टेंट के बहुत सारे वैल्यूज स्टोर करने हैं, उसको दूसरे मॉड्यूल में यूज़ करना है, प्रिंट करना है. ये पहला टास्क है. दूसरा टास्क है आपको वेरिएबल की नेमिंग करनी है. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे नेमिंग किया यूज़र इनपुट. इसी तरीके से 4-5 वेरिएबल बनाना है अलग अलग नाम से, जहाँ पर आप डिफरेंट तरीके का नाम देंगे और यूज़ करके एक बार देखेंगे स्पेशल कैरेक्टर को भी, ताकि वो एरर दे और आपके वो दिमाग में रहे हमेशा कि हाँ यहाँ पर एरर आया था जब मैंने ये स्पेशल कैरेक्टर यूज़ किया था. ठीक है, एक दूसरा टास्क हो गया ये. तीसरा टास्क है कि असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर कैसे यूज़ करते हैं, सिंगल असाइनमेंट कैसे होगा, मल्टीपल असाइनमेंट इन सेम लाइन कैसे होगा और मल्टी स्टेटमेंट इन सेम लाइन कैसे होगा. ठीक है, ये तीसरा प्रैक्टिस के लिए केस है. देन फोर्थ इज storing different type of data in different variable and then printing the type and also checking the type whether it is an instance or not. So making use of both type and is instance function. Okay, this is also to use. Then you have to work on type conversion. I think these all are enough. Several concepts we have covered today, so these are enough to practice for you. So then you have to practice on type conversion, and then you have to practice on this one as well, how this plus operator acts for string and numerical values, whether it is float or integer. Okay, and then you can work on this fraction, how to convert a float into fraction and how to write strings with line change and with quotations as a character. So these are different concepts which you have to practice this week. Next week when we will connect, I will ask everyone, I will ask them this file like this to show whether they have practiced or not. Okay.
Sir, how do I create a module?
Module is nothing but a file, Python file. So suppose you have a directory or folder, like we have here test2. It is a folder, it is a directory. Just go click, right click, you get an option new. in this new you have an option file. You also have an option Python file. You can go for that, but it's better to go with file and write any name. Let's say I name it session 2, and make sure you append the extension of Python file, which is .py. .py is extension of Python file. So once you make it, this is nothing but a module. A Python file is nothing but a module. Okay.
Then sir, how do I import in test.py?
Simple. Like I made this constant.py, okay, and I added this value here. I write this value here. Now I want to use this value in other test module. So we have to first import that module from where we are gonna use that constant values. So in test we have to use constant values. We have to import that module first, and then we can just use that value like the module name dot that particular value stored in that module. ठीक है, सबसे पहले हम उस मॉड्यूल को इंपोर्ट करेंगे जिस मॉड्यूल में हमने कांस्टेंट वैल्यू को लिखा है, दूसरे मॉड्यूल में इंपोर्ट करेंगे, और इंपोर्ट करने के बाद उस वैल्यू को, कांस्टेंट वैल्यू को जिसको हमने कांस्टेंट मॉड्यूल में स्टोर किया है, उसको कॉल करने के लिए उस मॉड्यूल का नाम जिसको हमने इंपोर्ट किया डॉट उस वैल्यू का, उस कांस्टेंट का आइडेंटिफायर जो हमने लिखा है वहाँ पर, उस वैल्यू को कॉल करने के लिए. सिंपल, क्योंकि हमने पी लिखा था एज एन आइडेंटिफायर टू स्टोर अ कांस्टेंट वैल्यू ऑफ पाई विच इज़ 3.14, तो हमने कांस्टेंट डॉट पी लिखा और वो वैल्यू कॉल हो गई, है ना.
ओके सर.
ठीक है, तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं, आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी है. मेक श्योर यू प्रैक्टिस दिस इन दिस वीक. More you practice, more you learn. Simple. Okay. Any doubt?
Okay.
Any question?
Point number 42.
Sorry.
Constant.
Line
Content.
number.
Concentrate is adding of strings, sir, and integers.
Okay. This one. यहाँ पर हम क्या कर रहे हैं, ये जैसा कि मैंने बताया कि कोई भी कोटेशन के अंदर होगा कैरेक्टर तो वो स्ट्रिंग कहलाएगा. तो ये दोनों ही क्या है, स्ट्रिंग है. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पर अगर हम देखें, ये दोनों क्या है, एक तो इंटीजर है, दूसरा फ्लोट है. अब दोनों ही केस में हम प्लस ऑपरेटर का यूज़ कर रहे हैं. हम अभी तक क्या जानते हैं कि प्लस ऑपरेटर का काम है सम करना, ऐड करना. तो इंटीजर और फ्लोट के लिए तो ये ऐड करके दे रहा है, लेकिन ये स्ट्रिंग के फॉर्म में जब हम स्ट्रिंग के साथ इसको यूज़ करेंगे तो ये ऐड नहीं करता, ये कॉन्कैटिनेट करता है. कॉन्कैटिनेट का मतलब एक को दूसरे के साथ जोड़ देना, बस. वो कहते हैं ना फिक्स, फेविक्विक से जोड़ दिया, तो उसी तरीके से समझो एक को दूसरे के साथ जोड़ देना. 12 को अटैच कर दिया 31 से, है ना. यही तो है यहाँ पे हमें मिला है. अगर देखोगे तो 1 2 देन उसके बाद 3 1 अटैच हो गया. सो कॉन्कैटिनेशन इज नथिंग बट अटैचिंग टू वैल्यूज टुगेदर. कॉन्कैटिनेशन इज नथिंग बट अटैचिंग टू वैल्यूज टुगेदर. ठीक है, क्लियर है.
Next point also.
This one.
X is equal. No. 43.
Okay.
Yes.
So here what we are doing basically is we are having an integer, we are having a float. But if we have both as float, if we have both as integer, or whether we have one integer, one float, it will sum up because both are numerical value, not a string. So it will sum up, it will add up both, and but the result of the type of the resulted value, you see this is the resulting value.
Yes.
The type of the resulting value will be a type of float, not the integer. So even if I do it as 3.0, it will give us 15.0 only. See, 15.0, not 15. So it changed the result as a type of float. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any doubt? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we import constant in mobile also?
Import constant in mobile phone. In online compiler, you are saying?
Yes, sir.
So I think the online compiler which I told you yesterday is just having a one file, It's better you make an account in REPL IT.
What, sir?
REPL IT. Let me spell it correct. Yeah. Python online compiler and interpreter. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So here you don't only get compiler, you get complete IDE itself. So in IDE you
Okay,
can
sir.
easily make several files, work with several files. So it gives us the complete IDE. Make an account on REPL IT and you can just work with it online. You don't need any system and all. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So in same way you have here an editor at the left side, and then you have a run button, and at the right you have shell, or where you will get output. Okay, but not here. You have to go to you have to go and sign up. Let me show you.
Hello, Fudal. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Next week.
Yeah. Okay. It logged in or not? Okay. See, it will come up like this. So here you have this editor, here you have shell, here you have run button, and here you can add file. Just go, you can add file, and you can add folder and anything. Okay, if you want to add a folder, just write project, folder is made. Then in this folder you want to add a file, name as constant.py. okay, see, inside this folder a file is added, and in this same file if you want to add this main.py, just click and make it inside. So this project directory is having both the files. You can make constant here and you can just use it here in the main.py. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Fine then, perfect.